Peter King with NBC Sports here with my 40 for 40, a story from my 40 years of covering the National Football League. And this is my 40 for 40 for 2004. And it has to do with a person who's currently on a very hot seat with the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. I was assigned a story by Sports Illustrated when I worked there 19 years ago. Go do the Bill Belichick profile. So I spent about a month, maybe 5 weeks on this story. And the thing I will never forget is going in and spending time with Bill Belichick's parents in Annapolis, Maryland. Steve and Jeanette Belichick were in their 80s by then, living in the same home where they raised young Bill. And they were telling me stories about him, and we had a good visit. And toward the end of the visit, standing in the living room of this home, Jeanette Belichick, this very slight, petite woman, said to me, "Would you like to see Bill's room?" Well, what do you think? Of course I did. And I went up to his room, and I looked around, and it was very modest, very Spartan. And Mrs. Belichick basically said, "That's the way we live." And there were books on bookshelves and a couple of trophies from young Bill's athletic accomplishments. And I just will always remember thinking this. Bill's dad was an assistant coach at the Naval Academy and allowed Bill to come in and listen to his talks to his team. He was the advanced scout also. He scouted the future opponent. Bill would sit in back from age 6, 7, 8 and listen every week to his dad breaking down the opponents. So obviously he knew football. He would go to football practice at the Naval Academy, so he loved it. And then when he was home and his mom was making dinner in the kitchen, he would read to his mom, and sometimes his mom would read to him stories. So his mom also spoke 4 languages fluently. She was a former college professor. And I used to think to myself, why is Bill Belichick, first of all, so smart? Well, he's got his mom. He would read to his mom, and his mom would read to him. And then he's got his dad, one of the great young coaches early in his career at the Naval Academy. He wrote a book about football scouting. And so who could have more perfect parents than Bill Belichick had? And now as he coaches his 500th game in the National Football League, he's in some trouble. But I find myself thinking about what makes Bill Belichick and what made Bill Belichick, Bill Belichick. And I hearken back to that day 19 years ago, standing in his home in Annapolis, Maryland. And I said, now I see.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.